Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode. In the last episode, we face off against Minerva after winning our gym challenge, and now it's time for our classes. Let's do Biology 4. Hello, I hope everyone's ready to learn some new things today. You all did great on the midterm exam. Thanks for answering my little question at the end too. I'll be sure to keep your responses in mind. Alright, now we're heading into the last half of our classes together. It's time for our knowledge to evolve and grow, just like our Pokemon. Evolution, yep. Evolution. Today we're going to learn about the fascinating phenomenon of Pokemon evolution. As your Pokemon battle and level up, they learn moves and get stronger. And for some Pokemon, once they leveled up enough, their appearance changes and their stats increase, sometimes by a lot. That's Pokemon evolution. Pokemon become very strong when they evolve, making them trusty partners in battle. But some people prefer to keep their Pokemon in their adorable pre-evolution states. To do this, you just need to remember a certain button when your Pokemon begins to evolve. Say it with me. If you already know, to cancel evolution, press the A button, B button, C button, B. That's right, everyone, B for the best answer. The button you want when you need to stop the Pokemon from evolving is the B button. If you press this button soon after a Pokemon begins to evolve, you can stop it from changing. You can also let the Pokemon hold an item known as the Everstone to keep it from evolving. And keep it in mind that the requirements for evolution differ from Pokemon to Pokemon. Some may evolve by having a certain item, such as a Firestone or a Thunderstone used on them. Others may have may have to learn a specific move or defeat a specific Pokemon in battle to evolve. The way Primate evolves into Annihilate is especially strange. You see, there's a certain move that... Whoops! Sorry, looks like we're out of time. I guess we'll have to end the class here today. Thank you all for your attention. Let's go to Biology 5. Hello, I hope everyone's ready to learn some new things today. But before we get going, do you all remember the final question for our midterm exam? Well, Director Clairville found out about it somehow, and I got yelled at. Whoops. Apparently, he could tell I was hiding something just by looking at me. He must have noticed all the color flash right out of my face. Speaking of color, today I do like to teach you all about the colors as they pertain to Pokemon. Some Pokemon have slightly different colorations or patterns on their bodies based on their gender or individual differences. In very rare cases, a Pokemon may have widely different coloration compared to the others of the same species. We call these specimens shiny Pokemon. It's quite rare to come across paths with one. Unless you know the actual right methods to do that, then yeah, it's actually pretty easy. Does anyone on here know what the likelihood of finding a shiny Pokemon is? It is 1 in 4,000. Which is much more better odds, because in pre-generation, I think it's either 5 or 6, it was 1 in 8,000. Wow, that's right. You may have the makings of a Pokemon professor, Ferdinand. Shiny Pokemon appear at a rate of 1 in 4,000. Isn't that amazing? The probability of encountering one in the wild is the same as hatching one from an egg, too. Eggs from a pair of Pokemon raised around different languages are a special case. There's a higher than average chance a shiny Pokemon will hatch from these eggs. But we haven't been able to figure out why that is just yet. I've also heard rumors of a charm that increases your likelihood of finding shiny Pokemon when you have it in your bag. Can you believe that? This claim can't be scientifically verified, but it sure would be fun if it were true. Whoops, there's the bell. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Alright, we are done with biology for now. Let's go to the next class, which is math. Hello, everyone. Well done on the midterm exam. Some of you earned perfect scores, others seem to have a bit of trouble, but I can tell that you all tried your best. I'm quite pleased to say that every last one of you passed. I can only assume this means you all have come to love numbers. Stay sharp and try your best for the rest of my classes too. Speaking of staying sharp, do you know how that word applies to Pokemon battles? That's right, it has to do with stat boosts. A Pokemon's stats can raise and fall throughout the course of a battle, correct? For example, if a Pokemon uses the move Work Up, its attack and special attack stat will rise by 1 each stage. And as you may know, each time a Pokemon's attack or special attack rises by 1 stage, moves affected by that stat will deal 50% more damage. If that same Pokemon from our previous example were to use Work Up again, both its attack and special attack will have been risen by 2 stages total. This results in a 100% increase to damage dealt by making its moves twice as strong. Swords Dance, on the other hand, boosts attack by 2 stages at once, allowing the Pokemon to deal double damage after just a single use. Using Swords Dance twice would boost the Pokemon's attack stat by 4 stages. How much more damage, then, would this Pokemon deal? Double damage, triple damage, quadruple damage! It is triple. Wow, that's great! You answered this difficult question with ease, Viridion. Each stage that a Pokemon attack or special attack stat is raised, increased, is its damage by 50%. So, being raised 4 stages would result in 4 times 50%, or 200% increase. The base damage of a move is 100%, so adding 200% into that gives us 300%. In other words, the next move the Pokemon uses will deal triple damage. Type matchups, critical hit damage, and other factors all play into these calculations as well. So even a small boost must be taken seriously. By the way, if a stat simply rose, that means it has gone up by 1 stage. If it rose sharply, that's 2 stages. And if it rose drastically, that's 3 stages. So you know the X attack and X special attack items can only be used in battle, can be used to rapidly boost those respective stats. Oh my, is that the bell? I suppose that's all for now. What a shame. Today's lesson's a little difficult, so be sure to review what you have learned in order to stay sharp. I'll see you all again next class. Alright, let's go into Math 5. Hello. Oh, everyone, let's have a fun class today. Did you make sure to review your last class material in order to stay sharp? I know it's a little difficult with all the talk of multiplication and percentages and the like. But today, we'll be talking about percentages again to learn about probability. That may sound like we're going to have another difficult class, but did you know that all of you already deal with probability on a regular basis? Pokemon moves generally have a potential. A property called accuracy, which determines the probability that they will hit. The accuracy of tackle is 100, or 100%. So if you were to use tackle 100 times, you could expect it to hit all 100 times. The move Hypnosis puts the opponents to sleep and has an accuracy of 60, or 60%. This means you could expect to hit it 60 times in 100 uses. To put that in another way, out of 100 uses, you could expect it to miss 40 times. Many of the truly powerful moves often tend to have lower accuracy. So when you're deciding whether to go slow, and steady with moves that are sure to hit, or hard and fast with stronger moves that are less accurate, you're already studying probability. Let's see here. Perhaps Surf and Hydro Pump would be a good example for this discussion. Surf has a power of 90 and its accuracy is 100, meaning you expect to hit it every time. Hydro Pump's accuracy is only 80, but when it hits, its power is 110. So between Surf and Hydro Pump, which move would you want to use yourself? Depends on the situation. Oh my! I see you're always considering various possibilities for Viridion. I may have made it sound like there was a correct answer here, but there's not. You are free to use any moves you wish. Factors like PP or number of targets may make some moves more suitable to certain situations. However, trading accuracy for power or vice versa is purely a matter of perspective. Surf vs Hydro Pump debate has been ongoing for quite a while now. Quite some time. Personally, I'm more interested in debating the rock-type moves Rock Slide and Stone Edge. Let me tell you, I could get really worked up talking about those moves, but... Oh my, there's the bell. What a shame. Next class will be the last of our time together, so show up 100% ready to go. Alright, that's the end of math for the time being, so let's go into history. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now part of history. I was hoping to continue unraveling the marvels of history as presented to us today. However, I imagine your ability to concentrate has been spectacularly derailed by my midterm. I suppose changing things up for fun and a variety may be a good idea every now and then. So allow me to tell you an old fairy tale that has been passed down in Paldea for generations. Once upon a time, there was a king who very much enjoyed collecting treasure. He was particularly fond of treasures from other countries. One day, a merchant from the east heard rumors of this king and came to meet him. The merchant laid out 4 treasures in front of the treasure-loving king. 4 treasures as would followed: a vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. Such rarities before him, the king leapt for joy. He showered the merchant with gold coins and claimed all 4 of the treasures for himself. Ah, perfect timing to make eye contact, young Viridion. Answer me this. What I said was one of the treasures was a set of tablets. What do you think these tablets were? Wooden planks for writing on, handheld electronic devices, or medicine you can chew? It is wooden planks. Correct. Your daily pursuit of knowledge serves you well. These particular tablets were wooden and used as writing medium in the East in ancient times. As you may know, they fell out of popular use as paper became more universally available. As for the king to consider these paper subsidies treasure, they must have been of superb quality. That, or perhaps they had some amazing profound teachings written on them. So the king attained these 4 treasures, and on that very night, it is said that a terrible disaster rained upon his castle, reducing it to rubble by dawn. Oh ho, is it that time already? I wasn't done with my story, but alas, so ends today's lesson. If you're interested in how the story ends, you may come and see me outside of class hours. Alright, time for History 5. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today, we will continue unraveling the marvels that history has presented to us. I trust that you all remember our lesson before the midterm exam concerning the great crater of Paldea and its interior, Area 0. The mysterious crater captured the imaginations of many, including the former Paldean Emperor. 200 years ago, a group of explorers claimed to have finally reached its depths. The name of this team was archived as the great feat that was the Area Zero Expedition. The team is said to have been made up of Paldea's best and brightest. Skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of all kinds. Among the list of the team members was the name of a man who was an author and brilliant natural historian, Heath. After returning from the expedition to Area Zero, he used his literary talent to record the events of the expedition and publish them. Ah, perfect timing to make eye contact, young Fruition. Let's see if you were paying attention. What was the name of the team that first made it to the deepest reaches of the Great Crater? The Area Zero Adventurers, the Area Zero Expedition, the Area Zero Survey Corps. It is the expedition. Correct. To pick up on and remember a term I simply ripped into the flow of the lecture. You really are quite the clever one. The correct name of this team was the Area Zero Expedition. Records of their activities were written by the expedition member Heath and can be found in bookstores and the like even today. The record is now known as the Scarlet Book. At the time, the entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing about Area Zero. The Scarlet Book was so popular that practically everyone had a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastical descriptions and illustrations of things that could never be thought as of real. The masses began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. The Scarlet Book was condemned to the shelves of used bookstores, just as another book of wild paranormal stories. There's a copy of one of the bookshelves on the ground floor of the entrance hall. Feel free to have a read if you're interested. Oh ho, is it that time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. Alright, time for languages. Let's see how many languages we can butcher today. How did you like the midterm exam? You all did really great. We are halfway there. And now, time for another lesson. Eligible pets. Are you ready? Oi! Tais bonodir spuds. Great answer. Meridachi, my friends. I knew I could count on your stars. Leading up to the midterm, we have learned all sorts of words from different regions. Starting today, though, I will be throwing a curveball before we begin listening comprehension. VSY go for my assistant, Pikachu. As you just heard, Pokemon can also use words to communicate. It's not always easy for us to understand them, but their words have meaning just as ours do. Pokemon can use language to share all kinds of information with each other, like the location of food, or whether there may be predators nearby. The same Pokemon cries may sound different depending on what it wants to say. I'm sure you're all curious. So Aloha or Haru today, that is, let's learn some Pokemon language. Jitije Prai, if you could be so kind, Pikachu. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? Happiness, sadness, anger. Milidilixiferion, correct! I guess we should call you Professor. When Pikachu says, it is using its angry voice. That's right. I had my little Pikachu friend here pretend and to be angry for us. Don't you think it did a great job? Give Pikachu a round of applause, everyone. The same Pokemon can even communicate its feelings in different ways. In many different ways. Their voice changes depending on their mood and physical condition. Try listening more carefully to Pokemon and you might gain a deeper understanding of them. They have been said Pokemon are quite mysterious creatures. Some actually don't communicate with words at all, but instead use things like electromagnetism or ultrasonic waves. Some even use telepathy. And now, outer pose of nothing, let me give you one of my wise words of advice. If you poke at your Pokemon too many times while washing them during picnics, they will get mad at you like Pikachu just demonstrated. Well, adios, Meridachi, little dots chain. See you later, everyone. Alright, time for languages 5, I mean. My dear friends, how are you all today? I hope you are doing marvelously well. It is time for another Saboteur language lessons. And to the pets, are you ready? Oi! I would expect no less from my excellent friends. Even your replies to my questions are excellent. Araju Horu. Today, we will once again be focusing on listening. Let's go for it, my assistant Pikachu. As you may remember from our last class, the same Pokemon cries may sound different depending on what it wants to say. Adadu Halu, today that is, we will be learning more about the language used by Pokemon. Legend Pray, if you could be so kind, Pikachu. That sounds a little bleak, doesn't it? Its voice seemed a little lower pitched too. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? Happiness, sadness, surprise. Ding ding ding! That's right, Viridion! Fantastico! When Pikachu says, it's expressing sadness. Kind of want to make you cry, doesn't it? That's right. I had my little Pikachu cry as if it was crying. Funny joke, right? Don't you think Egan did a great job? Give Pikachu a round of applause, everyone. And now, on a pose of nothing, let me give you one of my wise words of advice. If you hear one of your Pokemon making sad noises like this one, you should treat them with even more kindness than usual. Well, you probably already knew that, though. A piece of cake for you all, I am sure. Of course, this goes for your classmates and others as well. Friends should support each other in times of sadness. I truly hope you can all have smiles on your faces all the time, my friends. Our Pro-Chance occurs. Next lesson, that is, will be our final lesson together. I hope you are ready for the climactic final. Adios, Meridachi. Now for our battle studies. Another day, another round of battle study. Oosh! Let's get right to it. You all gave everything you had on the midterm exams. Well done. We will resume our regular classes today, so keep up that energy for the second half of the term. Have you all been using the R button to send out your Pokemon? If you do, your Pokemon will run off in the direction you are facing. It's a super useful tactic that lets your Pokemon pick up faraway items for you, and that's not all. If there's a wild Pokemon near you, when you send your Pokemon, they will start battling each other. We call those auto battles. Just as the name implies, your Pokemon will act on its own during auto battles, meaning you won't have to give any commands. And if your Pokemon wins, it gains experience points, just like it would in a regular battle. Do note though that the experience points it gets from this is not the full amount, so you're better off fighting the Pokemon normally. If you make good use of these battles, they can be a really efficient way to train your party. But you all want to remember that Pokemon won't evolve or learn new moves right away if they level up from an auto battle. Also, if a Pokemon loses an auto battle, it will come back with just a small amount of HP left. Make sure to heal it up right away. Whoops, I just about did the whole class as one-sided lecture. Does anyone have any questions so far? Can I catch wild Pokemon in auto battles? If you let your Pokemon battle on its own, it will keep going until its opponent's defeated. If you want to catch a wild Pokemon, you need to battle by issuing commands instead. Even during auto battles, our Pokemon are out there battling for us, their trainers. Keep an eye out on them as much as possible, and if it looks like they're going to lose, be sure to have them retreat. Also, this goes without saying, but Pokemon with low HP are already worn out. They probably won't enjoy auto battles as much, so don't work them too hard, okay? In conclusion, auto battles only work if a trainer and their Pokemon have a relationship of mutual trust. Be smart with how you use auto battles, so you don't lose the trust of your Pokemon. Aw man, and I was just about to suggest we do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home. But I guess we've ran out of time, as usual. Class is over for now. Take care, you little rascals. I love Penny was there with an Eevee. That was so adorable. Let's do Battle Studies 5. Another day, another round of battle study. Oosh! Let's get right to it. I hope you gave your auto battles a shot like we talked about last class. Making good use of auto battles will let you train up a bunch of different Pokemon. It is also an efficient way to gather the Pokemon materials you need to make TMs at the TM machines. Speaking of which, have you all been using the TM machines? I sure hope so, cause it's pop quiz time! To create TMs, you need Pokemon materials and one other thing. Anyone remember what that is? LP, HP, money! It's LP. Looks like you're already a TM machine pro, new kid. Despite us not using the TM machine at all. The correct answer is League Points, or LP for short. You can give LP and Pokemon materials to a TM machine to create TMs, but that's not all. You can also exchange Pokemon materials at the TM machine to get LP. I recently heard about some shady individuals getting LP illegally using a technique called hacking? Or something like that. I don't want any of you getting involved in bad stuff like that. Got it? Anyway, you can also add TMs that you want to make to your watch list. That will let you keep an eye on the materials you need to gather. In conclusion, in order to make TMs, you need Pokemon materials. And if you want to get a hold of a lot of materials, you have to battle all kinds of Pokemon. Aw man, I was about to suggest we do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home. But I guess we're never gonna have the time. Class is over for now. Take care, you little rascals. Right now, time for art. Let's go to art with Mr. Hassel. Hello, class. It is I, Hassel, yet again. I am pleased to say that everyone did very well on the midterm exams. As a reward for all of your hard work, we have a special guest visiting us today. Now then, Brassius, please come in. Greetings. I am Brassius. I am an artist, and I focus exclusively on grass-type Pokemon for my work. Brassius here mainly creates three-dimensional pieces, such as statues and the like. One of his major works is the installation titled Surrendering Sunflora, found in Artisan. Many of you who have challenged the Artisan Gym are no doubt familiar with these sculptures. Yes, I do recognize some faces among your students. I hope you all understand how fortunate you are to be able to attend Hass's class. Old Hass is a man who saved me from when I had lost all hope and given up on myself. But he never gave up on me, and I do not exaggerate when I say that he is my mentor in life. It is precisely thanks to Hass that I was able to establish my current art style. Oh dear Brassius, I am nothing but I'm nothing against reminiscing about old times, but today I would hope you would guide this class in a way that only you can. Of course. Let's see. Why don't we discuss what Hass mentioned, the surrendering Sunflora? Can anyone here tell me what my mood was when I crafted? Its detached expression. A happy mood, a sad mood, an angry mood. No! Completely and utterly wrong! When I made that sculpture, I had surrendered all hope I was prepared to give up everything. I had resolved to giving up my life as an artist, and if that piece did not receive the proper recognition, hence the name Surrendering Sunflora. That's exactly it, Hass! When I started out as an artist, I experienced many hardships, and even became deathly ill and fell into a slump that drove me into depression. I began worrying only about what would sell. I was concerned only with fame and fortune. But all of my pieces during this time had no depth. They were all shallow trash. It was then that I met Hass. He helped me realize how petty I was being. And I'll spare you the details. But in the end, I was able to leave all that behind. And that is also when I crafted the Sunflora. Remarkable! Even I did not know the full story until now. This kind of thing is hard to tell someone, especially when they are so close to you. Now, I don't doubt that adolescents, that's what he's trying to say. Adolescents will often find your head crowded with worries. My advice to you is simple. Be honest with yourself and do whatever your heart desires. So long as you don't cause trouble, that is. That is all from me. I must admit, I'm beginning to feel a bit embarrassed. So I bid you farewell, Hass. And farewell to your pupils as well. Oh, Brassius, I can't believe it. Such a wonderful class. Thank you so much! I love when he breaks down crying like that. So time for Art 5. Not much of our class is left to go. Hello class, it is I, Hassel yet again. First, allow me to apologize for losing my composure during our last class. I was so touched by Brassius' story that I simply couldn't contain my emotions. I'm sorry for making such a scene. I certainly got a very stern talking to from Miss Time after that class, yes. Anyway, let us shift gears and dive into the materials for today's class. Now, have any of you heard of the 10 sites of Paldea? As the name would imply, they are 10 sites in Paldea that are considered practically beautiful. Among them, I would say that the Grand Olive Orchard is likely the most accessible. I can see a field after field of olive trees from the hills on the way to Colorado. 2 waterfalls are also connected among these 10 sites, Fury Falls and Casa Royal Falls. There is also a peak at Gracio Mountain, known as the Paldea's highest peak. But there's another cliff on Glicio Mountain that is named after its rather unique shape. So, let me ask you, my students, what is the name of the free-flowing cliff on Glicio Mountain? No need to grab at straws. Glicio's grass, Glicio's reach, Glicio's run. It is grass. Exactly! It's like a hand taking hold of something, doesn't it, Viridion? The free-flowing cliff of Gracio Mountain is in fact known as Gracio's grasp. Though its shape is far too stubby to be that of a human hand, I imagine someone thought it looked like a Pokemon's hand grabbing something. There's also a mountain in Area 3 of East Province, where you can get a good look at Lavincia. It's practically gorgeous at night. In fact, the view is so brilliant it is known as the Million-Volt Skyline. I heard it's quite a hotspot for dates, and deservedly so for having such a romantic view. I imagine it, what do the kids say these days? A very, fleek selfie spot? Of course, you may feel that not all 10 sites live up to their grandiose names. How often do we visit such tour spots only to be disappointed? Not to say that you shouldn't visit them, only that you should keep your hopes in check. The important thing is to go yourself and see them with your own 2 eyes. And sometimes a disappointing experience can be worthwhile in its own way. Take a chance. Well, that's it for today, class. Thank you for your attention. Alright, time for our last class to do, which is home ec. Mrs. Sergero. Put away your phones, it is time to begin class. Though some of you had to retake the midterm exam multiple times, I am glad to say that the majority of the class passed without issue. I feel honored to see the knowledge and skill indispensable for daily life has taken root in all of you. I trust that you will all work just as hard on your life skills in this second half of our course as well. Now then, turn our attention to the topic of today, which was inspired by a question I received on the subject of meal powers. The student who asked this question is a young man who enjoys culinary arts. He tells me that he regularly researches culinary techniques on his own and pays careful attention to the ingredients he uses. He also spends day and night studying aspects of the culinary arts. Yet, despite this, he is baffled by his inability to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers. So tell me, Master Ferdion, since you did quite well in your midterm exam, what should this young man do to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers? He should make food more often. He should make food with other people. Arvin? He should make food with other people. Perfectly correct. I see that you are knowledgeable about the culinary arts. To increase the effectiveness of meal powers, your sandwiches must be filled with different ingredients. For a single person, this may prove difficult, but if you prepare a sandwich with others, you will be able to handle larger servings of bread. With a larger base to start with, it becomes quite simple to add more ingredients to your sandwich, which in turn makes it possible to receive meal powers of increased effectiveness. This applies more broadly as well. When dealing with a difficult issue, working with others to solve that issue may be the best course of action. I'm sure that Arvin will likewise work with his friends to craft sandwiches in the future. I love if you pay attention, Arvin does react. Ahem. The identity of the male student is a matter of privacy, so I would ask that you do not pry too deeply. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Alright, let's do home ec 5. Put away your phones, it is time to begin class. While you were out performing fieldwork with one of your Pokemon walking alongside you, have you ever noticed changes in its coloration? No, now I don't mean that it suddenly becomes a shiny Pokemon or any nonsense like that. I'm speaking of it becoming filthy. Pokemon battles. They get hurt by moves used against them. They get battered by the wind and rain, and they get covered in sand and mud. They get, in a word, filthy. I have seen many a trainer walking about with their adorable little Pokemon without addressing this issue. It is so deplorable. Let me ask you this question of someone who I am sure would not tolerate such shameful conduct. Ah yes, Master Feridion. What should you do if your Pokemon is dirty? Clean it up? Pat it on the head? Do nothing. That would be clean it up. Perfectly correct. I knew I could count on you to provide me with such an answer. When your Pokemon are dirty, clean them. This is, of course, simply common sense. While you're having a picnic, you can approach the Pokemon on your team and perform a variety of actions. One such action is to put them through what I like to call Pokemon Wash. In other words, you are able to clean them up. You start by getting your sponge, lathering them up with soapy bubbles, as you gently carefully scrub your Pokemon. Once your Pokemon is nice and covered in soapy bubbles, the bubbles will encapsulate the filth, and then you simply wash it away with a spray of water. This will get your Pokemon clean and shining bright as a Terrajewel. It is certainly quite a bit of work, but this will also restore Pokemon's HP and cure status conditions. However, some Pokemon may have parts of their bodies they do not want scrubbed, or they would rather not get wet. So be sure to keep this in mind when cleaning your Pokemon. Now, the most important point that I must mention is that some Pokemon like to be dirty. Though I will contract myself saying this, please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind thing to do. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. And that is all our classes, so let's run around and meet the teachers. Why, if it isn't Feridion from Class 1A? Are you perhaps interested in the rest of the old tale I told you in class? Yes. Heh, it is convenient that you would take the bait I presented in class. A vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. After attaining these 4 treasures, the king's castle was destroyed. Why, do you ask? Because these 4 treasures were actually 4 Pokemon. As these Pokemon were passed from human hand to human hand as treasures, they slowly became tainted by hubris and greed. Finally, after coming in contact with the rapacity of the king at that time, they awakened as disasters and began to rampage out of control. The king called for renowned Pokemon wielders to defend the country, and after a fierce battle, these incarnations of disaster were quelled. It is said that these 4 Pokemon were then sealed away somewhere in Paldea. So, what do you think? Would you say the story is just make-believe? No. Heh, very astute of you. I have read many historical disaster reports, personal journals, and the like. There is much to support the truth of this story. If I am able to prove the story's veracity myself, I'll be sure to let you know. We're getting closer with her. Oh, why hello there, young Viridion. I'm sorry, I was lost in thought and didn't notice your approach. I feel I must apologize again for what transpired in the schoolyard. It didn't bother me. Huh, that's very magnanimous of you. That woman who showed up as a dragon tamer, and a relative of mine, I might add. You see, I come from a very long line of trainers who specialize in dragon-type Pokemon. There was a child in our family who was expected to stand at its head and lead it to greatness. I don't know why I'm skipping certain words, but the young lad, rebellious little fellow that he was, ran away from home one day. He made quite a show of it too, swearing he do make a living with music. A lot happened since then, and now he's the art teacher and a elite member before you. After I so rudely took my leave during our last conversation, my dear relative encouraged me to give up teaching and return home at last. I have been told that the current leader of my family, that is to say, my father, is in poor health. Oh, but I must apologize. Perhaps I am not cut out for teaching after all. What sort of teacher grambles on and on at his own student? You are a great teacher. Ah, my dear Viridion, you have no idea how much your words mean to me. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Sorry, I was lost in thought. Oh, hey, Viridion. Sorry, were you looking for me? I've been away from the nurse's office lately. Did you need something from me? Are your Pokemon hurt? Just a sec. Here you go. A little first aid. You must really be having an adventure out there, judging for those scraps and cuts. Huh. Oh yeah. I guess it's pretty unusual for me to be out of the nurse's office like this. Well, I'm actually doing a bit of studying. Thought I do try my best at the health teacher certification exam once more time. You can do it. Just so you know, it is totally not because I am inspired by someone working hard at their treasure hunt, okay? Well, maybe I am just a little bit. So, thanks. Yeah. Hehe. Uh-oh, my break time's almost over. I know you'll be cheering me on, Viridion. Alright, let's go to another section. Let's go to the cafeteria. Viridion, you scared me. Were you cooking something? Oh no, I'm not here for anything food related at all. I'm just walking around the entrance hall. And I felt that intense gaze that I told you about before. So I quickly ducked into the cafeteria here. Our cafeteria has only one entrance, so I thought I might be able to discover the identity of the person watching me if they followed me in here. Ah! Someone's come just now! Huh? That's weird. I thought I saw her come in here. I guess I won't be able to ask my question today either. That girl! I feel like I've seen her several times before. She seems to be a student here, but I get the feeling that her question is not about her studies. Next time I see her, maybe I'll go up and start a conversation myself. It could have been a little scary being here on my own. I'm glad you were here with me. Any questions anytime. Biology lab. Oh, my dear Viridion! Thanks to your advice from before, Pomai is... well, just see for yourself. It seems very quiet. Yeah, it was feeling better, but this particular Pomai may just be a bit bleak, I suppose. I had Nurse Miriam take a look as well, and she says there's nothing wrong with it health-wise. So it shouldn't have any injuries or ailments or the like. Even so, it never utters so much as a cry, which is odd. The part that art has even Mr. Jock here ear stumped. Sorry that I couldn't be of any help. It could pass. Don't worry about it. I have some more information now, thanks to the Academy's security cameras, though. It seems Pomai was attacked by a wild Pokemon and fled here to the Academy grounds. Maybe it's still in a bit of shock from that experience, and can't bring itself to speak yet? Yep, if that's the case, then there's absolutely no problem with keeping quiet. Des perepapamere. We could just attend, wait, that is, until it feels like talking. That's all we could do, really. Even if you can speak all sorts of languages, there's no guarantee that you can understand what's going on in someone's heart. But have no fear, I won't give up. No, I will keep on trying until we figure each other out. Trusted by Salvatore. Mama is doing great. Just a bit of a quiet one. Let me check my Pokedex. Do we have enough to turn in for Jock? Because he wants 200, right? Oh yeah, we definitely met the threshold. Let's go speak with him. Ah, hello, Viridion. I see you already registered 200 species of Pokemon to your Pokedex for me. Wow! Pokemon from the mountains, Pokemon from the sea. Wait, what? No way! You even found Pokemon in a place like this? Ah, sorry about that. I get a little excited there. My Pokemon research is moving along superbly, super duper splendidly, thanks to you. Here, take this. Consider it my way of saying thanks. We get 20 quick balls. You are a bona fide Pokemon catching professional, Viridion. For your next goal, it's finally time to go for a complete Pokedex. Aim for 400 species. This is no easy feat, but I'm sure you can do it. Keep tossing those Pokeballs, and don't give up. So we need to see him once we register all 400 Pokemon in our Paldean Pokedex. Let's go to the staff room. Ah, Master Viridion. There is something that I would very much like to ask for your help with. You need my help? Well, you see, I do not want anyone to overhear this, but I heard rumors of an incredibly sweet continent that exists somewhere in the Paldea region. I absolutely must experience that ambrosia sweetness for myself. You are the only one who knows my insatiable sweet tooth. Thus, I have no one else I can turn to for help in this matter. I cannot go looking for this condiment myself, lest I destroy the image the students have of me. I will repay you for your troubles, of course. Give it some thought if this piques your interest. In the meantime, I will gather what information I can about this incredibly sweet condiment. I will share what I find with you as soon as I have more detailed information. Go to the director's office. Ah, Master Viridion. How kind of you to stop by. I must say, I am simply pleased to see you on school grounds again. Travel and adventure certainly have their place, but it does one good to attend class as well, no? Speaking of which, there is something I would very much like to ask you. I understand you have joined a variety of classes during your time here at the Academy. But if I may ask, which of our faculty members have made the most favorable impression on you? I would say Jock. Oh ho, Mr. Jock from the biology class, you say? Yes, he is a fine teacher, and most earnest and hard-working fellow. We are truly blessed to have so many wonderful teachers and staff members at the Narada Academy. I firmly believe that our faculty is second to none in their commitment to the students' ongoing education and well-being. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, Master Viridion. Alright, let's go to the nurse's office. No way, no way, no way! Come on, Marianne! Just try it! Miss Denia! Oh, great timing, new kid! Nurse Marianne here won't even try the sandwich I made. Well, duh! I don't want to get a stomach ache. You won't, probably. I still remember that sandwich you made with me with meat filling, egg, and meat for bread. The one that really messed me up bad. I haven't trained in the art of sandwich making yet back then. I was young and thoughtless, and... Young and thoughtless? It was last month! So, as you can see, I'm not getting anywhere trying to persuade her. Even after I went through that intense sandwich making training, it makes me sad. She went through intense sandwich making training? She worked really hard at it. Ugh. I guess I have no choice but if you got one of our cute little students on your side. So fine, I'll try your sandwich. Let's see it. Yes! I knew you do come around! Here it is! It's a little strongly flavored, but I guess it's not bad. Woohoo! My trading paid off! I'm so glad my sandwich pleases the great Nurse Miriam. I look up to you, you know. Thank you for trying it, and thank you too, new kid. And she ran off again. That was weird. But that's how Miss Dania is. Guess she's always coming into the nurse's office with some injury or another too. And that should be everything that we can currently do in the academy. So with that, we will end the episode here, and in the next episode, we will return to our adventure. If you enjoyed this episode, do like the videos, it helps tremendously. Subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below on your thoughts this episode, and share the video so that way more people can discover my content, help the channel grow. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Later.